Hello, everybody. It's me, TONIK TZW, and I finished the campaign early, so I can happily say, Picardie, I choose you. Because it's in yellow and it looks like it says Pikachu, so I thought I would put the Pokemon reference in there. You may have enjoyed that. You may have not. Let me know in the comments. But this is it. It is a French brawler. But we already have a French brawler. We have the Flander. Yes, but that's a premium ship. And this one is a tech tree ship, and it has lots and lots of secondaries. And I want to say I've played a couple of games of this. I haven't won them all. But this was my first standard match out in it. I did take it for a whiz around in AI before I took it into standard. And I was pleasantly surprised with the outcome. That's the build I'm using. We're running a full secondary build with some extra heals in there, and lo and behold, we get matched with some absolutely nasty ships out there, lots of big guns, and I thought, I'm not going to survive this one at all. Now, my initial thoughts were to push into B cap and get in the middle, and then I can kind of have my secondaries going in both directions. They've got a Chocolov as the aircraft carrier. Obviously, it's a little bit like that whole Ark Royal saga. You have those that bought it and then got the money back, and you have those that bought it and have kept hold of it. And I don't want to be on the end of that carrier. We have got a couple of main battery reload boosters there, and we have got a secondary booster as well. But obviously, with secondaries, you've got to get into range with them. And the secondary range on this thing is 11 kilometers with the build I've got with Haruna and Hipper. And we're not spotted yet as we swat down a fly. And here we go. We're going to go on that Hipper first of all, who's happily sailing broadside. Let's give him a bit of a lead and drift the shells out there. A lot of you probably noticed from my battleship games that I don't always do a full salvo. But we get one citadel hit. We are spotted, and now we're looking around to see where we might be shot from. This Flander appears to be on the mission for 500 secondary hits because he is going to come charging into the capture point. And me, like a fool, I'm going to go charging out before my turrets are all traversed, and we're going to turn full broadside and hope that he's content with letting his secondaries do the work, which he's not, obviously. And I'm just looking at the minimap, and we've got a battleship here who's kind of off the right-hand side of the screen, parked behind an island. Surprise, surprise, as we get another shot across there. And it was me who was spotting that guy. And I'm like, okay, who's this guy here? Brandenburg. He's a good secondary build as well. Surely he should be wanting to come out and brawl a little bit with me, because 2 sets of secondaries on this Flander would be a lot better than one. The Megami decides to fire 1 salvo and run. We are going to move behind this island. We lose sight of the Flander again. And here we go. There he is. Put our turrets out there. We're going to let this fire burn because he is in secondary range. We are going to get a few more secondary hits, and then we are going to dip out of sight. I'd love to know how this Brandenburg's managed to get himself set on fire, because he's being parked behind a rock, but never mind that. Torpedoes are heading towards the Flander. Excuse me, buddy. Sorry about the paintwork, but if you weren't parked behind a rock the whole time, I'd be able to turn. So Flander is getting a little bit battered. He's a little bit toasty, and I think those torpedoes are going to connect, and he is going to disappear out of the game. There we go. Not quite a first blood. And there's the Hipper all the way back there, and I'm thinking, can I get a drop shot across the top? No, I can't. He disappears. But what we don't want him to do is to be pushing down a flank. You'll notice we are looking around for a target. We don't want to hold onto shells if we can put damage out there. Don't know how great the guns are on this. Like I said, this was the first game. I think they are small caliber in comparison to a lot of the other tier 7 battleships. We are 2 ships down to 1, but we do control 1 cap, and our destroyer pulled an absolute blinder here because he does play the capture points there. Massachusetts parked behind an island there. No use to man nor beast, because we are pushing this flank. And I'm just thinking, shall I go into the cap here, or shall I push against this hipper a little bit harder, because he does look like he wants to come in. And out here, I'm out of range of all the big guns from the bigger ships. We've got a secondary reload booster available. We have got all 4 turrets loaded. Now, the turret angles on this are pretty damn awful. Ripple fire, drift the stick, and see what happens here. Dispersion is awful again, but we do land another citadel. They don't seem to hit hard for a citadel hit. And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to need to close, get secondaries on, and get another shot. But I was thinking, Hipper has torpedoes. Must remember, Hipper has torpedoes. I'm sure of it. Don't push too close. Don't push too hard. He's going to light us on fire. We know that. We have a main battery reload booster available, and who knows, he might put in a turn and give us a flat broadside, which lets us hit the main battery reload booster. 10 seconds for a reload. He thinks he got away with it, but yeah, he's got a little surprise coming back in. So this is where it pays to learn about the different ships that you come up against. But before we can drop another shot on him, the secondaries pick him up, and so we're going to swing a 180 and head back to the other side of the map. So not exactly a huge brawl to begin with, but the secondaries, they aren't Atlantico standard. From being on the receiving end of Atlantico secondaries, but they certainly do pack a punch. And if you can get close enough to somebody and get that booster working, you are going to scare them away. And while you're waiting for that main battery reload to come back in, those secondaries popping are going to keep the pressure on any ship that is coming up against you. So we have a 1-ship lead now, but the rest of red team, they're carriers at the back of the map, but the rest of red team are across there on Alpha Cap, and that's a hell of a long way away. But we are motoring, we are picking up speed, full steam ahead, choo-choo, everybody on the lemon train, and let's go find red team again. I should pause it here and we'll skip forward a little bit. So we've cut out a little bit as we push back towards Alpha Cap. The Navarans out there. We've got ships to the north. So I've come to the south so that we can have a crossfire on this guy. I may not be a battleship main, but I certainly do learn from my experiences, and I pay attention to what others do. Keep an eye on the minimap. We're not going to do any real damage to this Navaran because the guns just don't have it in them. But the rest of the team are going to absolutely clatter him. We're going to wait till we're almost disappeared behind the island, fire our guns. We don't get detected. We land some shells, but somebody else picks up the kill on that one, which leaves 1 ship at the back of the map and their aircraft carrier, who was last seen heading down the left-hand side of the minimap. And I'm thinking, okay, we've got a kill, we've got an assist, we've had a bit of a brawl and gotten into a bit of a scrap with a cruiser. We're on 76,000 damage. So when you consider we've got, let's say, 58,000 damage, I think if I've done as much damage to the red team as I have hit points, then I'm having a fair game. But I'd like to add to that, even if it's just a little bit. And look, we can see where the aircraft carrier's spotter plane is. And so I'm thinking he's heading in this direction. Who else is in range of this guy? The destroyer might be running him down. Is their second off last ship, or the penultimate ship from Red Team, disappears? And I'm thinking, come on, carrier, come round this corner. Let me see where you are as we lose our Charles Martel. So the carrier is keeping us honest. But with the destroyer pushing round and this guy running for his life, there's not long left in this game at all. Now, I didn't pull the trigger immediately as he was coming towards me because I did notice he happened to have a little bit of a turn. We send our salvo now, we lock our guns to the left, and we're going to put a full turn in. We drop a lovely little citadel through him there. That was nice. He misses his skip bombs, and the reload is coming up. He's in secondary range. I think we're only going to have 2 turrets come round on this one. Oh, everybody's going to want a piece. There we go. Guns away. And we are going to spank him through the citadel and finish the game there. So, all in all, not a bad first sail out. Just under 113,000 damage. We get 2 kills. We get a close quarters battle, and we also get a fireproof from being burned down. Just over 2100 base XP there, which I'd say is a reasonable and slightly above average game. And certainly for my first game, it wasn't a bad run out. So I hope you've enjoyed that little look at Picardie. I think Dirk has got a pretty good video on it where he gets into more detail about the guns and secondaries and things like that. I'm all about the gameplay. So let me know, have you got the ship yet? What's your best scores in it? And don't forget, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. And as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.